Hello, everybody. Sorry for being a couple minutes late. So listen to this. So every Training Tuesday, we have a stovetop kettle. It takes forever to boil. So if I know that I don't have time for the stovetop kettle, we use this really little, this pot. And the pot is small enough that it boils fast. And, you know, we don't have any problems, and I can get down here and do Training Tuesday in time. Well, I'm boiling my water in my little pot. I go to show Nathan something super quick on my phone while the water's just about to boil. My mom turns to me and goes, "Alicia, your water's boiling." I'm like, "Okay, just turn it off." While I'm showing Nathan this thing on my phone, go back over, and she used my water to make Nana's tea. And I was like, wow, thanks, guys. So by the time I made myself new boiling water to make my tea, now that's why I'm down here so late. So it's a good cup of tea, though. It was worth it. Okay, so tonight we are talking about committing yourself to one business. Just a disclaimer warning, don't take offense to anything I'm going to say in this video. You guys know that I'm pretty blunt. I pretty much say things how they are, and I'm not trying to offend anybody. This is my opinion. This is in no way the opinion of, you know, I am not speaking for anybody else. This is my opinion. This opinion has been formed by talking with and, you know, viewing Orville and Chuck's comments online, and knowing that they don't really support a double business model idea either, and it makes sense, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight here. So if you guys are watching, make sure to invite the rest of the team, please, and give me a shout out and let me know that you're here. Okay, so let's talk about some different businesses, because you guys are going to watch this and you're going to be like, you're a hypocrite, you do those dog toys. There's a difference between homemade businesses and a direct sales business. In a homemade business, you're not recruiting anybody, right? I can sell to stores, or you can sell to stores, I should say. So you sell to stores. You can sell to the general public as well. It's totally up to you. You have less potential for lifetime income. My dog toys is just a way for me to take a sheet of fabric and turn it into some extra cash. We have a lot of bills that we're trying to pay off, and if I have the ability to do that, then that's something I can do. But it doesn't compete with a direct sales business because there's just no longevity to it. Like, I could do this all I wanted, but it's not going to pay my mortgage. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, or my rent, or whatever the case may be. So that's part of it. So they're homemade businesses, there is an option for them, but when we think about a homemade business, like, let's be honest, it takes us a long time to get those products homemade. It takes us a lot to get, you know, the branding, the paperwork, that kind of stuff, right? It's not as sustainable as a direct sales business, which already comes in a pretty little package. You know, you order stuff and it takes about 10 business days. You can't go wrong with that. You can't get that out of a homemade business, right? So, keep that in mind. There's a difference between the direct sales business and the homemade businesses. Direct sales, you can build a team, right? That's your main goal. If you're legit and you want to be in this business for a long time, you start building a team. That's your main goal, and that will equal longevity. You have a wide product line. Like I said, it comes packaged. The design work is there. You know, your catalog is beautiful. Your boxes are great. You know, you don't have any your packaging is ready, done with. You know what I mean? You don't have to think about that. Your website's set up. You know, if you have a problem, there's a customer service line. Like, that's not you. I don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully you guys are kind of seeing the difference between those. But even with me having a homemade business, I still see the effects that I'm going to talk about tonight. Maybe not as much, but they're still there. But tonight is more about why you should not do two direct sales businesses. And this is, again, all in my opinion. So, in my opinion, doing two of any business, and I'm including homemade businesses in that, doing it of any business will cause one business to suffer more than the other. You simply cannot put 100% into two different things. It just doesn't work that way. You can't. It always ends up being, you know, a little bit more to one than the other. And if that's the case, you know, I even see it with the bully braids. Like when I'm really busy with the bully braids, Scentsy takes a side note. I can't post about the bully braids and Scentsy at the same time, so I have to decide whether my business post of the day is going to be Scentsy or bully braids. And so you can see how one can take a hit. So when you have two direct sales businesses, could you imagine keeping up? Like, first of all, if we're going to talk to, you know, if we're going to compare my bully braids, I don't follow up with people. They get their bully braid and it's like Walmart. I never see you again, right? With Scentsy, I do follow-ups. You know, I hand deliver. I hand wrap and hand package. I mean, you know what I mean? My packaging is cute for bully braids. But if I had to do what I do for Scentsy for two different businesses, I would never be able to keep up. I would drown. You have to be able to put your 100% into something if you truly want it to succeed. And if you are splitting it up with another direct sales business that equals as much work, if not more, then it's just not going to be worth it. It also, and this is another huge, like, okay, so I have, you guys know, I have friends that do direct sales all over the place. You guys know that I love Unique makeup. And I use Unique makeup, and I share selfies of my Unique, and I tag my girlfriend and all that jazz. But could you imagine if I started selling Unique and my customers were like, hold on, is she the Scentsy lady or is she the makeup lady? Like, do you see how that could get confusing for some customers? And then not to mention, I have built a wonderful family here in Team Wickless and Wonderful. And if I were to just all of a sudden jump on another company, wouldn't you guys be like, but what about us? Like, you know what I mean? Wouldn't you question? Wouldn't you be a little bit, you know, concerned? Because I know personally, as a consultant, I would kind of wonder. So to me, I don't want to confuse my customers. I don't want to confuse my potential recruits, and I don't want to confuse my Scentsy family. When you're promoting two different companies, customers start to wonder, you know, why, and so do potential recruits. Why do you need to do both? You know, is it the compensation plan? You know, why both? You should be able to reach your goals with you know, the one. Also, compliance. So we are not allowed to join another competing company. So you can't join like Gold Canyon or what's that other candle one?
Party Light.
Thank you. Or Party Light. Because it's against, like, they're too similar in lines, right? So if you join both of those, it's actually considered out of compliance because they're so similar, they're competing. You also cannot sell to or recruit people that you only know through Scentsy. So if you have a, you know, a family member or someone you've been friends with for years who joined Scentsy after being friends with you, they're open game. But if you only met that person through Scentsy, then you cannot sell to them or recruit to them. And also, you can't really invite them to a party either. Like if you have a Tupperware party or whatever, Tupperware is just the first one that came to mind, you can't actually invite them to that party blindly. I mean, you really shouldn't even be like mass messaging them to invite them either. If it comes up in conversation or if you post it and they say, hey, add me, then you're good. But you shouldn't actually be adding them. And I know that's like shock, and honestly, that's not really followed up on. But if somebody did report you, that's something that compliance could contact you about. Now remember, compliance are not big evil monsters. They send you a warning email. If you respond to them, they're totally reasonable and you can talk to them and it's not the end of the world. But that is something to know. And I wouldn't freak out about that though. Like honestly, as long as you're friends with the person and you know that they're interested in it and you're not spamming and being annoying to people, then you're gonna be fine. Because like if I know that one of you guys loves 31, or if I post it out there, then that's the thing. Normally if I post out there that I'm having a 31 party and people comment and say, you know, I'm interested, then I add them. I don't generally add people. And if I'm gonna message somebody about it, it's because I don't think they saw the post and I know they like the product. You're staying away from being spammy, guys. That's all that is. Also, on the compliance front, and again, if you want the full compliance, the basics that I talk about, I have a Training Tuesday video. You can see it in our group, Wickless and Wonderful, or you can go on my YouTube channel, and it is there as well. You cannot sell 2 direct sales companies at the same table. So this also goes for splitting it with Auntie June or whatever. You can't split a table with Auntie June. It's got to be your company and your company only. So you cannot sell at the same table or host 2 parties at once. So you, as a consultant, cannot go to somebody's house and host a party for Scentsy at the same time as hosting a party for the other direct sales you're a part of. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. But you can't do that because that's called cross-promoting, and it's just not allowed. So, also, if you have a Facebook business page, you cannot put, Alicia Kielberger, independent Scentsy director, and 31 sales consultant, or whatever. Can't do it. You just can't. Because it's got to be Scentsy only. You got to remember that these other companies are the same as Scentsy. Scentsy is trademarked. That word is trademarked. So you can't really use that name unless you're putting independent Scentsy consultant with it, right? So why would you be able to put Scentsy with another trademark? You're not, you shouldn't be able to. That's why we can't talk about Disney or any of the MLB or anything like that, because the companies have to approve that, right? And again, that's getting, the Disney and stuff. It is, I wouldn't say it's getting very strict, but these are important rules to think of when you're making your social media posts. A lot of people get in trouble over social media because they just think it's a free-for-all, and there is some rules you have to follow. Also, you cannot list, okay, so you know how under your name you can say independent Scentsy consultant or whatever on your personal profile? You can't put the consultant at whatever company you're at and at Scentsy. It has to be one or the other. So you have to pick which one you want to show on your profile. So I know that sounds like a lot of rules and stuff. And honestly, that's not why. The rules aren't the issue. You can do 2 direct sales businesses compliantly. That's not the big issue. The issue is, hey Des, how are you? The issue is that honestly, you can't devote all the time and attention that you need to give either business, the attention that it needs to flourish. This is the thing. People join another sales company for the money or the, the product or the discounts or whatever, right? But if you put the time and the effort into your Scentsy business, if you took that time and effort that you were going to put into that second business and you put it into your Scentsy business, you'd be surprised what could come out of it. Do you know what I mean? So don't ever think that, before you try joining another company, try just turning that into your business and seeing what happens first. Now, this is not to say at all, you guys know me, so this is not to say at all that you cannot support your direct sales brothers and sisters. Because come on, you guys see me post all the time about my friend who's in Silver Icing, or my friend at Unique, or my friend who gets me the 31 bags. Like, I love direct sales products. If you look around, you can always find some at my house. Behind this camera, there's a 31 wall organizer. This is from Silver Icing, and actually so are my jeans. And normally, if I'd be wearing makeup, it'd be from Unique. So I am all about sharing the direct sales love. But my thing is don't join, if you want the discount, go and host a party with your consultant. Support her business that way, okay? Or if you want to help support them, shout them out online. Share with your friends how much you love this company, and, this is your direct sales friend and they're fantastic, and have you tried them? Buy from them to support their business. Building relationships within direct sales is so important. If you can become a customer of another direct sales person, and always, I know this kind of sounds bad, but look for people who are working their business. Look for people who you want to be like. Build a relationship with them, because they're going to want to talk to you because they want to build a relationship too. Okay? And, talk business. My Unique friend is my business go-to. If I'm in a rut, if I'm confused, if I need help, if I'm like, you know what, I'm ready to give up, I just message her and she knows what to say, and she's been there, she's done that, because she's in the same industry, she's in the same sort of leadership position, and she knows what I'm talking about. And so it's so important to have somebody that you can kind of bounce that off of. And you can find that within a Sensi consultant as well. You guys know you can always message me to bounce off any frustrations or any questions or ideas, whatever. But sometimes it's good to have somebody to do that with, right? And that just happens to be my unique friend. So building relationships within the business is how you succeed. Okay, building relationships with them, you know, eventually you get a party, you build a relationships with their you know, friends and stuff like that. That's how you expand your customer base. Then you ask each of them to do a party. You know, you continue that cycle, and eventually your customer base becomes wide, and that's what you're looking for, right? And as you grow wide, then you'll find a recruit, right? You'll keep finding parties, you'll keep finding recruits, you'll keep finding more customers, right? All this stuff adds up to a successful business in the end. So if you start building your relationships instead of jumping on every newest ship or every newest, you know, hot new party, or you know what I mean, hot new company, you will go farther. So hopefully this one's not I don't have a long Trading Tuesday. This was only 15 minutes tonight. But that is hopefully the message I'm trying to get across. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody, because I know that sometimes that happens, but that is just my opinion on 2 direct sales businesses. I just don't think that you can put 100% into them, and one will always suffer. And in turn, the other will suffer as well, because you're trying to add more time to compensate, and it's just a never-ending battle. I know that if I had to do what I do for Sensi twice, there's just no way. There's a reason I only do it once, right? There's a reason I only do the workload that I take on, because that's what I can handle. And if I had to do it twice for another business, I don't think I could. Okay. So again, personal opinion. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. If you guys have any questions or any suggestions for next week's Trading Tuesday, add it in the comments. If you guys ever want to talk business or strategy, again, add it in the comments. And also, I realized today is the 14th, the 13th, and I still haven't sent out the team newsletter. So I'm going to sit down and work on that now. Other than that, if there's anything I can do for you guys, you know how to get in touch with me, and we will chat soon. All right, see you later.